G'day YouTube, welcome back to another video. I've just finished doing some maintenance on the Audi, but today I'm looking at some more. I'm going to be doing the bushes today. Oh, you can't really see much here. Let me go get my the lights. If I can find where it is. I think I left it here. My trusty work light here. Here it is. So the upper control arms are cracked, so I'm going to change that. While I'm at it, I'll change the whole arm because I've got a whole new kit over there. I'm going to change the pinch bolt. I'm going to change, actually this is not bad, but I'm going to change the ball joint, or the joint for the control steering. So I'll change that while I'm here. It doesn't look too bad actually, but you know, I've got the whole package, why not? I'll get on to changing the lower control arms, front and rear. The rear is going to be a bit of a pain because you got to remove some of the subframe bolts, but that's not a problem. Yeah, so I'm going to start off by removing the top, and then I'm going to remove the bolt for the control arm to the front sweeper, and then I'll get on top and remove those three bolts holding the suspension in. So I got the strut top out, uprights, whatever you want to call it, or the strut top, sorry. 3 17mm on top. To get access to the top, you do need to remove the rubber seal. Lift it up. There's 1, 2 and 3. I just buzzed it off, but when you put it back on, use your hand, tight it on, and remove the end links to the bar. Obviously remove the bolt from the front lower control arm, and then you'll have enough play to remove the whole unit at once. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to replace them one by one, and where it sort of sits now, I'm going to use that as a guide to tighten it up, so that, you know, that's where it's going to be when the suspension is lowered, so the bushings don't rip. The bushings on here are ripped, like there, big crack, and that's going to be a fail on the roadworthy. While I'm here, I've removed the pinch bolt for the steering rack, and then I'm going to remove the top first. There's 1 bolt, 2 bolt, top one first, that gets held on by the bottom bolt. If you try and do it reverse, it doesn't quite work, and then you've got to find the correct method of removing that bolt. Now, where did that bolt go? Yeah, this bolt here has a way of locking the top one together. So that's pretty much it. All of it's pretty much removed now. I've got this pretty loose. It's always coming out, but where this nut is, I'm going to measure up where the new control arm, steering end link, and yeah, I've pretty much got the whole party pack here. The car did come with its own pack, but somebody stole some bits already from it, and I'm not sure why you would steal and only do bits and pieces when you can just do the whole thing. A bit strange, if I may be honest. I might just lay it out all here. I've still got the front off, because what I might do is fill it up with coolant, make sure it doesn't leak. Might get the aircon filled while it's up on jack stands, maybe not. Right now it's easy to get to seal, easy to get to that seal as well. Those aircon seals below has never been off, so that shouldn't leak, but really it's just these that may need new seals. So I might leave it off. I might just start tightening up everything else. The bumper is held on by 2 big joint bolts, and then a whole bunch of 4 or 5 Torx along with being on the bracket, so that's all good to go. I broke the bracket holding on to this, I don't know, I think this is a transmission cooler, so I've just zip tied it for the time being. I'll look for a better solution once I get a front mount intercooler onto it, but for now it is what it is. Yeah, it's coming along. Might drop the fluid before I take it out, but for now I'm just going to leave it here for gotta go back inside and deal with some work and the kids. Alright guys, just completed one side suspension refresh, and boy, it was a job. Fuck. Yeah, a bit of a job there, sorry. Let me just zoom out. There we go. So what did I do here? I refreshed the 2 upper control arms, the steering rack end link, or steering rack ends. That's new and roughly, that's going to be roughly in place. The lower front and lower rear control arms, they're all brand new, you can see that. The front bar end links, and it's with coils, so it doesn't look too bad, but it's all refreshed. Just need new brakes, but really they've still got life, so I'm going to drive this until it's finished. The rear ones I'm going to replace, but yeah, the refresh is going well. I had a lot of trouble with the rear arm, and everything else is okay, like we don't get rust here, so the pinch bolt was okay. Removing the strut tower, that was okay too. This bolt didn't give me any troubles. I had to hammer this a fair bit for it to break loose. I didn't use any of the tools to press it out or to pop it out. This, I needed a 6mm hex to hold the that nut in place so I can turn it without it free spinning. After I finished installing the lower control arms, I left it semi-loose, jacked the suspension up to where I think the wheel sits, and then I tightened it. So that, you know, hopefully that makes sense, but that's what's recommended, so that's what I did. Cool, so I'm going to do the same with the other side and come back. Guys, let's go through the damage. Upper control arm, cracked. The other upper control arm, also cracked. Now these are failed. These are big fail items in when trying to get the car back on the road as a roadworthy to get registered. In Australia, Victoria, especially Victoria, it needs to be safe and sound before you can get it back on the road. Yeah, mate. Soon. Yes. All right, and lower control arm bore joint cracked. Also another failed item. So 3 big ticket items already. This is also cracked on this side here, so they will check that. End links are still pretty good. They're solid mounts in there. The other joint here, steering. This, I think this was still good condition. I think I did this damage while taking it out, but you know, didn't take much to damage it. But yeah, so lots of cracks. Finished all the maintenance at the front, and I don't know if I explained it to everyone, but I had a leak, a coolant leak, because this thing decided to snap. So what's this? This is a coolant heater hose adapter. It's commonly found in the back of the engine or transverse on the side of the engines, and it feeds hot radiator water or hot radiator coolant to the heater coil and then back into the engine and gets cooled through the radiator and does a cycle. The plastic, after 20 years, decided it's time. So down that goes, and I ordered a new one, which is gonna take, you know, 2 or 3 weeks from Aliexpress. So I decided, you know what, order it anyway just in case. But I've looked at somewhere local, and I looked at a part from local part, and they had it. But yeah, so that took a while to fix, because there's no space back there, trying to reach through, and the arms get cut along the way. Today I'm working on the rear of the car. I'm gonna refresh the brakes, because out of the front and rear, this is probably gonna fail. It's probably borderline, to be honest, but we'll replace it with some nice Brembo rear discs, Brembo brakes, and yeah, I'm gonna refresh that right about now. So wheel off. I'm going to take the calipers off using the two 13mm. You're going to have to hold it there with some sort of a, let's see, what size is that? I've got a 17. That's probably a 16. I've not worked on any Audis before. Actually I have. I lied. Audi A4 I've worked on. 16 doesn't fit, and 17 is a bit too large. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll get to the bottom of it somehow. Alright, let me remove these bolts. I'm going to need 2 spanners, one at the rear, one at the front, towards the middle there, just to counter hold it. And so I'm going to try and just flip it up or flip it down. Let's see how we go. Alright, so this must be a Quattro thing, but I had to remove the rear bar support. It's pretty thin, pretty easy to get to, but that gives you access to the 2 bolts holding up the caliper carriers. That then allows you to remove the rotors. So pretty easy. Gonna try and spin this back in again using my caliper winding tool. So just got to find the right tool combination to put it on there and wind it back, and hopefully as it winds back it'll go into the piston will push back into the caliper. But yeah, so clean this all up, go from there. Alrighty, just like that, she's back on the ground. All 4 corners have been refreshed. The rears, I swapped out Brembo rotors and pads, just standard replacements. But yeah, that should get us passing roadworthy. Yeah, she's got upgraded oh, you can't really see it, but you know, all the control arms, upper and lower, ball joints, anything with a rubber boot is changed. The front end has been refreshed entirely, so I've got new timing belt, water pump. I didn't have an AC compressor or the bracket that goes on it, and that was a journey in itself. Didn't know that these needed a bracket, but anyway, we got there. You can see the brand new wording on that belt there. That's the power steering belt. The one below it is the compressor belt. That's all brand new, refreshed. New tensioner there as well. New accessory belt you saw there. Water pump is brand new. Timing belt brand new, refreshed. I did a coolant, rear coolant housing flange refresh there as well. I didn't change the temp sensor because that was still okay. I probably should have. It's not a hard thing to do. You can just reach in and change it. Refreshed all the gaskets to do with the heater hose. Got a new heater hose connector adapter. Yeah, just really good. I started the car, it was a little bit smoky, and then I did an oil check because the PCV system is brand new, so I noticed that it's overfilled. I'm going to have to drop the oil anyway because the oil is unknown with what looks to be a doesn't look like a filter that I recognize, so just going to do an oil change. Got plenty to choose from here. These are for 180 Golfs. These two bigger ones are for these are for the Audi Quattros, only because the sump is a little bit smaller, so it's relying on the filter to hold more oil in it to stop the sludging. So yeah.